Welcome to Ashia. Ashia is a fair trade tourism certified cheetah conservation sanctuary which was founded in October 2016 with the purchase of a 35-hectare working farm cultivating grapes, olives and guavas. After the transformation of 10 hectares into the present cheetah sanctuary for animals in need of care as well as those earmarked for release, various produces of the remaining farmland are sold under our own label in our boutique shop. A further variety of homegrown fruits, organic herbs and vegetables is used in our cafe and in the farm kitchen. Our visitors don't come for grapes or olives, however, but to see the fastest land mammal and to learn about the threats that the most unique of the 41 species of felids face in the wild. Worldwide, there are fewer than 7,000 cheetahs left in the wild and just over 1,700 in human care. The most endangered of the bigger African cats is facing a race for survival. We are a not-for-profit organization. All project surplus is used to assist the funding of the cheetah breeding, wilding and release program, which links conservation and human welfare. The primary goal of the program comprises the cheetah breeding project in a secure but natural environment provided on Kuzuko, a 15,000-hectare private game reserve in South Africa's Eastern Cape province in the Greater Addo area. The cheetah breeding, wilding and release program was successfully started in August 2018 with the release of a captive-born female onto Kuzuko's game reserve, soon followed by 3 adult and 2 sub-adult cheetahs. Since then, the first 3 cubs of this pioneering cheetah conservation project have been born into the protected wild at Kuzuko. Once mature enough to fend for themselves, they will enter the cheetah metapopulation project to complete the cycle that was originally intended, for captive-bred cheetahs and their offspring to make a significant contribution to the conservation plight of this endangered species by strengthening the genetic diversity of wild cheetahs. Why breed cheetahs in captivity? The evolutionary history of the cheetah, Acinonyx, has been under discussion for decades. Fossil records strongly suggest its descent from common ancestors of the American puma and the jaguarundi some 4 to 5 million years ago. But whether the origin of the puma lineage lies in the Old or the New World is still controversial. The modern cheetah, Acinonyx jubatus, appeared in Africa approximately 2 million years ago. About 10 to 12,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age, a mass extinction event eliminated over 40 of the world's large mammal species. Fortunately, a handful of cheetahs managed to survive, but the event left the species with both reduced numbers and diminished genetic diversity, known as a population bottleneck. Cheetah ancestors were obliged to inbreed, mating with close relatives to survive. Yet they were able to restore the world's cheetah population, which in more recent times grew to hundreds of thousands of individuals across Africa and Southern Asia. Unfortunately, for the past 5,000 years, humans' fascination with the cheetah has contributed to its near extinction. Thousands have been removed from the wild to be used across continents as hunting companions and pets by maharajas, pharaohs, nobility, royalty and leaders, or later to stock the world's zoos. Under colonial influences on agriculture, large carnivores were viewed as vermin, and until the 1970s they were killed, even in national parks, to protect game. Since 1900, when cheetahs still numbered over 100,000, the species has gone extinct in more than 25 countries and been eliminated from over 75% of its historical range. From 40,000 in 1960, we are down to fewer than 7,000 adult and adolescent wild cheetahs today. They exist in small pockets of land cut off by fences, roads, farmlands and cities. Although 80% of the Namibian cheetah live on livestock farms and game ranches, they represent the largest remaining free-ranging population, followed by Botswana. but of course both threatened by human-cheetah conflict. In South Africa, with few truly wild habitats left, cheetahs now inhabit a mere 6% of their former native land and appear predominantly in national parks and private game reserves. Cheetahs are classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List due to their loss of habitat, human-wildlife conflict, poaching, trophy hunting, and illegal pet trade. According to researchers, the biggest threat, however, comes from the historic lack of genetic diversity. This limits conservation options and requires an ever-increasing understanding of the manifestations of inbreeding, such as low immune system, health issues, body deformation, and low fertility. 90% of all cheetah cubs born in the wild die within the first 3 months of life. Almost half of the death rate is due to poor genetic diversity. Why release captive-born cheetahs into the protected wild? For the best chance of survival, wild cheetahs in South Africa are managed in fenced reserves and kept away from farmland. As cheetahs require vast areas, most reserves only have the capacity to hold limited numbers. To prevent inbreeding once the animals are producing offspring, South Africa established the Cheetah Metapopulation Project, which currently manages around 340 cheetahs living in 53 protected areas. These metapopulation cheetahs need to be artificially connected, which means adult animals or their offspring have to be physically moved between game reserves to avoid inbreeding and to increase the resident range of cheetahs in South Africa. The metapopulation has grown on average by 13 individuals per year since its establishment in 2011. The current number of 340 animals leaves the metapopulation well short of a genetically viable population by 660 individuals. A minimum of 1,000 animals is vital to maintain genetic and demographic integrity. The relatedness of metapopulation within cheetahs has become an issue, and preventing inbreeding without supplementation from outside populations will be practically impossible. Releasing more captive-born cheetahs is a promising way to respond to the urgent need of reintroducing new bloodlines to strengthen the metapopulation. Given the limited numbers in the wild, supplementation must come from scientific breeding programs with strict DNA testing and accurate stud book records on origin and parentage. It's all about cheetahs, but cheetahs are not all you'll see at Ashia. While on tour, you will also meet servals and leopards. Your tour guide will provide you with numerous interesting facts about every species. Although our conservation focus lies on the cheetah, all small and big wildcat species face the same threats. Their status on the IUCN Red List does not always reflect the sad reality in the wild. Scientists and researchers say cheetahs should long be classed as endangered instead of just vulnerable, being at the edge of extinction. Caracals or servals, for example, although classified as least concern, have disappeared from over a third of their historic range, and leopards from over 75%. How can you get involved? Join one of our various volunteer programs and get hands-on experience for a day, a couple of weeks, or several months. Stay in our luxurious apartments and enjoy the animals and farm life at a more leisurely pace. Celebrate special family events or corporate functions with us. Support our release program through volunteering time at Kazuko, donations, or by adopting one of our ambassador cheetahs. And first and foremost, become a cheetah ambassador yourself by spreading the word. Enjoy your time at Ashia. Ask as many questions and take as many photographs as you like.